Hello everybody, this is Judge's Free Time here. Apologies about the quality from the last part of my vaping experience, but unfortunately I'm using a standard definition camcorder for now if you've not followed the channel or whatever. Anyway, welcome to my vaping experience number 3, part 3. The camcorder looks like it needs to change battery, but I don't have one, so if this cuts out I'm going to have to get straight to this device right here called a mobile phone. So welcome to my vaping experience part 3. Now, not much has changed, but I might as well go through my experience because I've been through a few e-juices, if you will, and tank choices in my past. Now, what I'm vaping on is the Ego 222 1000 or 2200 milliamp, whatever, 2015 it says, and it's a GS right there, if you ever wondered from the last one. And obviously it's a C4 or C4 tank, whatever you want to call it, and they're really easy to pack and they're very easy to use. So good, in fact, I have another one of these for my travel case. Now, let's go through the goods and the bads. The goods is that I'm still vaping on it, obviously, and I still vape on it. Another great thing is you know, I've been enjoying it. You know, I've been enjoying some of the e-liquids and such. But the bad news is I've been trying out 88 Vape's e-liquid recently, mostly because, well, just to be cheap. Because at the moment in time I can't afford any more e-juices. But I have been trying out many other e-juices, and right in here is my e-juices and tanks and such. The reason why I got this is mostly for JT's reviews on e-liquids from 88 Vape. I've been trying out the bubblegum, I've been trying out the tobacco, and I've been trying out the fruit twist. And let me just say, this is the best one out of them all, the bubblegum. Now, on my first part I said that I had the bubblegum, and that's the reason I got it, because they were selling bubblegum but in the nicotine form. Wanted to see if there's any difference, and I was out of money. So, that was £1. But when I did have money, I got some Juice Junkie, right there. And it's the Black Haze. And let me just say, this is my best e-liquid so far. I love this stuff. And they also do hundreds and 150 milliliters, not from this company but other companies, and I've been vaping on it and it's really good. It has that nice minty sort of glaze feel to Juice Junkie. And if you was interested in putting nicotine in it, they also give you this, which I never used, by the way. It's never been opened. Well, maybe to smell it to see what it was. And I wasn't lying, I have got the tobacco flavour as well in there. Now, I wouldn't have got, you know, the nicotine version if I wasn't low money, and I am low money, so that's the reason I got it. I wouldn't have used it if I wasn't low money, but I needed some e-juice just to get the stress off and just to vape on. So that's the reason why I got these. Now, experience has been okay with this battery. It's a very strong battery. I have to say it's the best one I've had so far, but only because I've only had a couple of these. The worst one I've had so far was the first one I ever vaped on, and it was okay, but the battery was like weak. When you puffed 16 times, the battery was dead, just like that. This thing could work up to a week's worth of vaping, which is really awesome. But if you're a chain vapor, a day's tops. Now, I've ordered another vape unit, and the reason why I've ordered another vape unit is because I am travelling while I vape. And at the moment in time, I have in my vape case, I do have like a tank in there. I have some more tanks, the battery charger to the C4 battery, and the battery I have in there at the moment is this right here. A very cheap battery, but it works. I basically got this from Home Bargains, and it came with a tank and it came with the charger. The charger's in there, I'm not getting it out. But I do have about 4 tanks in there, ready to go. I've got 3 in there, obviously, in a bag, Ziploc bag, and I've got one there ready to go. So I've ordered a new battery thing online, mostly because I've been thinking to myself, this might be a good little battery, but the problem with it is eventually that battery's going to die, and then I'm going to have to plug it into the wall. It's going to take half a century to charge up, and if I need to puff on it, it will be still on charge. Now you may say, why don't you take this and get something better? I will be getting something better. My plans are not short yet. I'm hoping to get myself, what was it called? The Alien 220 watt vape box. That's 50 quid. That Ben Bedell's Productions and whatever he is now, vaping something. I'll put it on the screen if I know. He's recommended me to it, so I want to get that as well, but I haven't got the money yet for that. It's 50 quid, and you know. And there's another one online I'm looking forward to, which I'll probably put on the screen at the same time, which only goes up to 60 or 80 watts. I might get that first because it's only 20 something pounds, and for the other one, the Alien, it's 50 quid. But at the moment in time, I'm happy with this. Now, this other unit I've ordered online takes AA batteries, 3 AA batteries. Simply just pop in 3 of these bad boys. None of the big batteries that you're used to, that you put in your Alien or your whatever you call it gear, but it's got to be better than this on the road. So I thought to myself, well, this is not going to be good when it's charging, so I thought I'll get that as a backup. But then I thought, you know, why not I just use that on the road, the AA battery choice, because apparently the battery power is really good. It can last a very long time. So when I get it, I'm going to test it for a week and see how long the batteries last. If it lasts more than a week, it's perfect for travel. It's excellent for travel. And this could be the backup. So this is going to be my backup from now on. So there you go. There's a little bit of an update into my vaping experience. I'm using this on the road at the moment, but I'm going to be changing it to the AA batteries version, where you know you just pop in any old AA batteries of your choice, or you know even the bigger boys if you wished. But I want to put just AAs in because they're closer to home. The great thing about that unit is I can actually go to any service station I want and pick up AA batteries that you can find in any service station, and I can just vape away again. The problem with this though is, if you don't have a car cigarette lighter, or if you're on the road in a bus or whatever, this is dead. It won't work anymore unless you use a power bank. And power banks, I don't know why, some of them won't charge these little units. So it's best to go with something like this on the road. Now I could take this, but again this is for home use only, and this probably will last longer than the AA battery on the road. But the best thing is you can use rechargeables or anything you want in it, and it's pretty damn awesome. So I'm going to be showing you this probably in the next shot before I head off. But yeah, my vaping experience has been pretty damn good so far. I've enjoyed it. I like this stuff the most. The cheap bubblegum online is definitely a second, and the bubblegum I have now in my pen is a third, and the fruit twist is probably fourth, and the other one is fifth, and all the others I've tried in the first part or the second part, they will go up from there. I think the cherry one will be the last one because that was awful. The maintenance tobacco is definitely the next one after the fruit twist and the bubblegum and that. So yeah, pretty good. Anyway, it vapes alright, 8A vape. It's not a problem, and for £1, you know, you can't beat it. The only problem with this one is it's got nicotine in it, I couldn't find the 3% nicotine one. It would have been better if I had that, but I'm stuck with this one. I'm not addicted to it as I thought I would be, because I was thinking, oh God, I'm going to be so addicted to it, because it was like 11 milligrams of nicotine. And I was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be so hooked on this, but I'm not. I'm not hooked on it at all. As soon as I was on this juice, it was fine. So nicotine, you know, doesn't give me any addictive personality really. So maybe it's all BS that they talk about on the news and all that about nicotine. But anyway, I'm going to show you this unit now. I'm going to shut up. My experience has been so good so far. I have to say I've really enjoyed it. I've got some more juices on the way, probably Tuesday, because I've got to order it Monday, and it'll probably come Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever their Royal Fail starts to work properly. This one I like so far the best out of them all. This tastes wicked. The only thing I can criticise is sometimes it wouldn't last a day in the tank, so now and again you've got to empty it and put your own in. Now for the bads. The C4 tanks have been good, don't get me wrong, these have been good, but the ones from 88 Vape have been a mixed bag. I have one in the travel case right now, but that was only because I had a good feeling about 88 Vape. Now I had 88 Vape for a while and I didn't think nothing of it because it was cheap and it was easy, but after a while, I don't know, the quality's gone weird with 88 Vape. It's just gone downhill with their tanks. So instead I've gone with a different company, and if you want to know what that is, it should be on Instagram somewhere. But if I can't find it, I'll probably take a photo or something when I get a new tank or something. I'll probably get a new tank soon anyway, because I want to go back to this stuff very, very soon. So yeah, this is a lot better than the 88 Vape stuff at the moment in time. The 88 Vape, when I was on it, was good for a while, but then I realised, you know, these tanks weren't lasting long. So I went with something like this one. And surprisingly enough, it's the same company that made this battery. This battery is fine, it just doesn't last as long as many others. So yeah, this is an excellent vaping battery. This is the best of them all. It's called the Ego 2 if you're wondering again, and it's a GS, and it's really good. The only reason I am getting this replaced is because the battery life could be a little bit better and nothing will charge it on the road. And if I'm on a bus for 24 hours plus, which I will be in the future next year, you know, I will need batteries as a substitute, because obviously that's not going to work very well on the road. About 16 puffs later and that's dead. But with this thing it will last forever. So there you go. 88 Vape is pretty damn good. I like 88 Vape. Just wish that they had the zero nicotine version. There's not many of them out there. You've got to dig hard for those. And especially 88 Vape, because 88 Vape doesn't have that many out there. That is zero nicotine free, unfortunately. So yeah, I won't be addicted to this anyway, because I don't really like vaping on this sort of stuff anyway with nicotine, and it doesn't taste right. It makes it taste funny. So I like this sort of stuff more, and I love the bottle art. This is amazing. Anyway, I've jabbered on enough, Jesus. Anyway, I'm going to vape in front of you, and that will be the next shot. Cheerio. Now then, obviously this is not the next scene. This is just the same scene as before, the same day, before I get the actual equipment and show you my new juice that I'm getting through the post. But you may think recently also that I had a disposable one of these in the last video in part 2. Well, you're right, and I did say once in that video that I was going to use it on the road, but unfortunately it was a bad idea, because it would have cost me a fortune. Plus there was no Poundlands up where my mum lives. So yeah, I had to get a different unit, and I was going to just, you know, stick by getting a unit anyway, like this anyway. So that's what I did. I stuck with this that I got from Home Bargains, and it was only I think it was £5 or £6, I can't remember. And it came with the clearomizer, as I said, and it came with this. and the charger. So, you know, I thought, well, this is a good deal. I just take this home and I'll use it for travel, and that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, so before you say, oh, but didn't you have a disposable battery and all that for traveling? Well, I thought of that, but then I thought, well, it's going to be expensive getting them every so often, and what happens if it does explode when it charges? What would I do then? So yeah, I took the coward way out. Sue me. Alright, I know, it's the same shot again. But there's something else I've also missed out. I've just counted how many tanks there were in this, and there's actually 2 in there. Not 3. So there's actually 3 in the actual case. So there's 2 there and 1 there. So yeah, you give a flying fuck anyway, but you know, I thought I'd show you that as well. And there's 2 there and there's 1 there, and the new one's going to go in there obviously, and the so-called backup is going to be in there as well. Now I better go before the battery does truly run out on this fucking camera that I just got. So it's been maybe a couple of days later since that last bit of footage you saw, and now we're in actual high definition and all that. This is the unit that came through the post. It uses AA batteries. Didn't come with any, but you know, what can you expect, I guess. But I was expecting batteries, but only because the other units that I've seen online have batteries with them. But never mind. It tells you all the information here about no odour, no secondhand smoke, non-flammable, refillable, AA battery powered with big capacity. Yeah, right, we'll be the judge of that. We've got to put some batteries in. You could use obviously rechargeables, or you can use normal AA batteries. And this is the point I need to point forward. It doesn't matter what batteries you use, the capacity will change. So when it says with big capacity, it could lie about it. Tells you about how to fill it, how to put batteries in, etc. Not to be sold to minors. Not suitable for pregnancy, breastfeeding, etc. And it works with the CE4. I'm glad it comes with a CE4 claramizer though, because I haven't got one spare anymore, because the BlackBerry stuff I had has gone rotten, I noticed, so I can't use that anymore. But I tell you what, it looks slick. Let's see what it looks like in the Ego case. I don't know, you may say I got a load of tanks, but that's for travel, not anything else. So let's see what it looks like. If we take this off for a second and actually pop this in to here. There we go, look. I can even screw that in like that. Obviously, screwing it in, there we are. As you can see, look, that small unit can fit into this. No problem at all. And as I said, this is a Ego case and it is white. When you open it out, the unit will be there. Is it easy to take out? Not really. You probably have to unscrew it every so often. So I would probably have to store this probably in there. With the battery charger or something in those lines. So I've just noticed that the claromizers look a little bit different, or as you will, tanks. As you can see, this one has a black finish, which I like, and this also has a white finish that I like. So, you know, there is quality in the claromizer, or tank if you will. So, you know, it's pretty nice. Little tanks right there. I gotta say, I do like the black one more than the white clear one right here, and there's no information on it, I don't think, saying what company it is, so it could be any, but it came with it, and it fits on nicely, and it also works with others as well. right here. And I'm going to screw it completely on because it'll take me 2 days. And here's the one that came with it, obviously. And as you can see, look, there's only a little minor difference in where you vape out of. So, you know, let's see. I think that's plastic. Yeah, and I believe that's plastic too. So, yeah, and it just shows, you know, that that you do get some quality sometimes with the cheap stuff. Anyway, I'm going to put that back in the case because I'm not going to use it, but I am going to use this one, and I am going to put some of this bubble gum in there. So I'm going to screw this off like that, and then I'm going to put some of this juice in. These always were a bugger to open, weren't they? Okay, and let's fill the tank. Now I can't see through the viewfinder of the phone, but I can actually see with my naked eye, which is nice. Hope you can see what I'm doing. And I know this has got nicotine in it, but I wouldn't use it unless the thing ran out, and I have run out of e-juices, and I'm still waiting for one of them to arrive in the post. So there you go, it's full. And we're going to put the top back on like that. Let that soak up for a minute while I put this other screw back on. So yeah, the original C4 tanks have this black on it, which actually does look nice, and the other one that is cheaper still looks nice with the nice tip on it. Has a simple fire button on the top, AA batteries in the side, so I'm going to put them in. Now I am using rechargeables because the batteries that I do have on the side ready for it was meant for testing for about a week, and I don't want to use my good batteries till first day of the week because, you know, I want to test this out for real, and then I'll give you a vaping experience out of it as well. So put that back on like that, and you do get a green light, and it does, you know, vape nicely. I like the sounds of it. It does feel a bit more heavier now. So let's quickly see what this vape's like. So here we are. As you can see, the juice is now soaked for a bit. As I said, it uses the good old AA batteries, good for travel because you can just keep using them. And this is smaller than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be huge, but it's not. So let's see. I think it does vape awesome. As you can see, look, lights up. And it vapes awesome. No timers, so it doesn't flash to tell you that, you know, you can't vape anymore. And there's still some left in it. But yeah, as I mentioned in the other clip very badly, I have to really edit this now. I can't use my other batteries that are on the side, that the Kodak extra long life ones, because I want to test this out throughout the week. And how I'm going to do that is very simple. I'm going to use the Kodak extra long life bonds, and we'll see if it lasts a week. But at the moment it's Friday and I'm about to do the tag video, and I thought, well, I need some batteries because it didn't come with any in the box, stupidly. So I had to get my own batteries fitted, which are the Fusio Max from Poundland that you can buy for £1 for a 2-pack, and they're rechargeable. Button's not always a click to confirm, but the battery has to be recessed in. Vape's awesome. Good. Good little travel vapor. It really is. And again, 3 AA's. That's what it is. So I'm going to use my zinc chlorides in this and see how long it lasts. So that's the plan. The plan is I'm going to use them batteries and see how long they last. It'll be interesting. Again, you've got to really press that button. But vape wise, pretty good. Pretty good little unit. And it was only a £5, and it's got good grip as well. I mean, it's not like really slippery. It's very nice. Seems to work fine. Same vapor you would get off the other battery I have. I don't know how long the batteries would last if you was a long-term vapor, but this is really good, really awesome. I'm going to give this a trial run. My god, the jump cuts are terrible, aren't they? Well, blame my fucking speech problem today. But yeah, we'll see how this gets on. It's by Younow Tech. You can get it in many colours, including black. And all you need is juice and off you go. I tell you what, it's not like the other button I have on my battery for the CE4 tank, where you know you only press it light and it works. This one you really got to press. But it's very nice. It vapes nice. I'm guessing you would last quite a long time on this thing with the amount of batteries this uses. So I've been puffing on it for a bit of time. Let's see. Batteries are not hot, so you know it wouldn't destroy your hand when you have it in your hand when you have it for a long term. But yeah, I'm going to give this a trial run and I'll let you know in the same video. So then, before I go into the bath, I want to quickly mention why I got this for the vaping experience, and explain to you why 88 vape is absolute shit. Because I put a new cartomizer on and the thing leaked this morning, really irritating. It leaked a little bit onto the contact, which irritated the hell out of me. Either 88 vapes liquids are shit, or this is just a shit thing as well. I'm going to go for both. Anyway, the reason why I wanted to get this is not because of the battery option, but the factor of other things. I mean, this thing, yes, is a bit smaller than this, and yes, it's a bit taller, which could be a problem if you have a suitcase or whatever, because of the room. And this could also be a problem in your bag or suitcase. But the reason why you would want to use this for travel and not use this is very simple. If you're on a very long road trip, say for example, and you have no power supply because all of your cigarette lighter sockets are completely full of plugs, or even better, you're on a bus that has no power supply at all that's connected like a plug socket or anything, because most buses do have it, but some buses do not. For example, ones that go to France or Spain or whatever, yes, you can get yourself a little power bank, but that's extra money on top. With this thing, you know, it's a big money hog. So, you know, this cheap little device is a great idea, because not just if it gets lost, who gives a fuck, you can get a new one, but, you know, this being so expensive, you don't want this to go missing, especially with that sort of thing. But also, the reason why you wouldn't want to go with this thing is because even though the battery is awesome, it lasts for a week if you are vaping slowly. But if it's a couple of days worth of non-stop vaping, it'll be dead. Is because when you're on the road and there's no power supply, say you can't be asked with using power banks to charge this thing, 'cause it's extra wires, it's extra mess, it's extra faff just to charge a light thing. Well, on the road, you know, you haven't got no power supply, you've got no way to plug this in, and who knows, maybe your hotel only has one plug socket and you have to preserve it for the wife's or missus' hairdryer or whatever. Well, everywhere in the world has AA batteries, so just pop in your batteries and off you go. And the best thing is, in services, you can get batteries from services. Alright, they're a bit expensive now and again, but look for the cheapo ones and you'll be fine. And you know, the great thing about this as well is you can just vape for days and months, and well, until the battery supply runs out. I mean, you know, in the world, you know, if they stop selling batteries, I don't know how, because it's a common thing. Like when you're shaving and you get an extra blades, you can get like batteries. So, you know, there is a reason behind this. You know, it's not like I'm saying, oh, I'm getting this because it's pointless. No, I'm getting this because this will eventually run out of battery, and so will the little one. And the problem that we all face is when you're abroad, you don't want to, you know, have an explosion coming from this. And if you're in like China or anywhere else in the world that has a different power supply, who says this won't explode if you try and charge it? So it's best off just to get your local batteries, put them in, and off you go, because this thing is actually multi-battery, so you can work with any battery supply you wished, with the 1.5 rating and many others that it said it can do. Again, this is a good little mod, don't get me wrong, but when you're abroad, you don't want to get this nicked, do you? So the best thing is to have something that feels like a toy that's not worth anything, so you're a little bit happier in the fact that it won't get robbed. It probably would, but who cares? You can get another one for a £5. They're not, you know, that expensive. I mean, these, I mean, you can even get them for 99 pence if you wanted to. I think you can find them for 99 pence. But with this thing, this thing's going to run out of battery in literally no time when you're on the bus or somewhere without a power socket. And it's irritating. I find it irritating when the things run out and there's no way to bloody charge it. And even if you do have a battery bank, you'll be charging your phone. So this would then be redeemed as useless. And, you know, you would have to wait hours and hours and hours for this thing to charge as well. So you wouldn't be able to vape if you're a non-stop vapor. So, you know, this thing does come in handy because you can just go to your local petrol station and get your batteries. Now, I'm going to, through this test, I didn't mention that I was going to do two sorts of Kodak battery, mainly because I didn't know in the video either until now. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be testing the old Kodak version and then use the brand new looking ones, because they measured 1.6 volts and the other one was 1.5, so that just shows that they've probably got more capacity, or maybe not. So I want to test the theory out and see if they've changed the recipe, because it's only 5 batteries instead of 6, which is very douchebaggy of Kodak. But yeah, well, this is very thirsty work. Right, so yeah, that's the reason why I got this, because when you're out and about, you don't want to risk your lovely mods, you know, and these are power hogs. They charge and they take like 6 hours, 2 hours, depending on the power supply you're on, and you just don't want to waste your car cigarette lighter power to charge a little e-cig, and then you would have to get backup e-cigs and all sorts of stuff. It's going to cost you a fucking fortune. So get this, it'll save you money in the long run, and you're not sacrificing vape either, because it vapes awesome, same as this probably. So, well, an inch difference. I mean, this vape's less, but this vape's more, obviously, because it's a bigger mod, it's a bigger battery. 22,000 milliamps is way too much. Well, 2,200 actually is way too much to charge. It takes 2 hours plus, I believe, on my charger. I don't fucking care about how long it takes. I just charge it here in the flat and it's then done. But I'm not one of those vapors that goes vaping all the fucking time. I only vape when I want to vape. So, you know, this, you know, is not a problem to me to charge. But I don't know, I just prefer this because it's easy to find batteries. You can find them in many dollar stores and many places in your local town. I mean, you can go to Scotland and get them easily as well. You can get them from any part of England. And if you've got access to like a dollar store in America, you can even just put them in. Because let's face it, with 110 volts, would you want to risk getting another USB charger just to charge this thing? And who knows, it might explode because it's the wrong kind of battery type. So, and the wrong type of charger. So you've got to mess around with chargers and many more things on the road. And when you're on the road as well, with no power source, you're fucked on these buses. Because some of these buses don't even allow you to charge stuff unless you have a power bank. But some power banks don't work either, so it's a bit of a mess. With this thing, pop in your batteries, off you go, no fucking around except for the juice, and you're done. So yeah, that's why I got this, because if I'm going abroad and I want to just simply change the battery, I just go to my local shop, put them in, boom, I'm gone. And I'm vaping happy. But with this thing, it's a bit of a faff just keeping it charged. Especially if you have the smaller battery, because the other battery, like this thing, is too fat to go in your luggage. So not just this is skinny in a way, but it's a good way to vape in my opinion. You might have different routines, but this is an excellent way to start when you're traveling, and especially when you haven't got any way to charge these things. It's a bit of a problem. You need to vape, you need the nicotine. So what do? You get something like this, because batteries are easy to find anywhere really. You can find them in Tesco's, you can find them in dollar stores, you can find them in Poundland, you can find them in Home Bargains, you can find them in every fucking place you know of. Even services have them, but overpriced. So try and find the cheapest, buy them, put it in there, and you're done. Obviously there's a problem of the battery disposal, but that's about it really. It's a very simple device. You just put your batteries in and off you go. So that's it really. This juice is crap. I've ordered some more anyway, some more juice, so I'll keep you updated probably Wednesday or something when I've got the juices through, and stop doing this awkward angle because it's weird looking at the wall on this side. But yeah, the moral of the story is, if you hate travelling with these things because they're a bastard to fucking charge, get something like this. It's very simple, very nice to hold, very grippy, and very sexy actually. Look at this. Very nice. So if you hear any strange noises, just my bathroom air freshener going off. The washing machine's also going because it's cleaning one of those back filters for the heaters. You know, those things that keep all the fluff out of the element so it doesn't burn out so quickly. Anyway, I want to talk about this device a little bit more. It's now Wednesday, and I've noticed a little bit of a problem with it now, or a decreased problem or something like that. Before we get going, my juices did come. Well, one of them did. The other one's probably still in the post box, or maybe it's still on the way. But this one's a lemon tart from Neon Fogs, and it's a really nice, flavour. What can I say? The only thing that's wrong with it is it has a bit of a sicky feel, like they put loads of sugar in the pastry or something or whatever to make the vape juice. I don't know how they make vape juice. I'm guessing that's how they did it. Probably made it sugary or something just to export it better or something. I don't know. But in this thing it makes it sickly, but in another device it's fine. So I'm guessing this is the device. It's low powered or something. Anyway, I'm just really fucking contradicting myself here. Anyway, this thing so far is working still. Still works, but a bit low on power. Expected it to be, really. The Kodak battery has gone down to its fallen voltage now. As you can see, look, it's 1.2324 volts on one battery. And this thing is not very even when it comes up to, you know, power outage usage, whatever. I don't know why I just said that, fuck it. I'm not editing it. Because I noticed this, because when I was testing the batteries out, I noticed that one was like 1.25, like this, or 1.23 now, and the other one was 1.22 or 23, and this one, this last one of the bunch, I believe it was 120, but no, it's now showing 124. So as you can see, it's evenly doing the batteries, and I thought it wasn't, so there you go, it is doing the batteries evenly. Holy shit, I have to do a lot of editing. Yeah, and about to go in the bath as well and get this place cleaned up. But yeah, this thing works fine, which means that, you know, rechargeables will work fine in this. If the capacity is high enough, it will work. But when it gets to 0.84, I believe this will just stop activating, because I can't even hear it fizzing or whatever that, you know, it should do. Can you hear it? No, because it's a bit under voltaged. Still works low. It's just a bit of a bugger. You have to leave the button on longer than you did before. Compared to something like this Ego 2 pen, when you put it on to this, you can hear it fizz. Listen. I don't know if you heard it, but yeah, it's fizzing. As you can see, that makes a hoodle of cloud, and I can really taste that juice. But with this thing, it's very, very weak now. I wouldn't be surprised if Thursday is the day I have to change the battery. But it still works, just. Nah, it's not that good. And when it's underpowered, it makes a lot of flavours, a bit sickly, a little bit bad. It's starting to work now, but it's just undervoltaged for it now. It was 1.5, now it's like 1.2 or 20, which is very low. So, yeah, good vape juice. A bit sickly, but it's nice. But somebody tells me when it gets to 1.2 volts, that's the perfect time to change the battery in this. So I'm guessing it would last up to 2 days maximum. But if you don't mind little clouds, fine. But you know, even this thing does really big clouds, even on a low battery. So that's, you know, that's understandable. But yeah, I guess the capacity on this thing is like huge compared to something like this, because you know, with the batteries, you've got to equal them to the, what is it, 3 volts? Is it 1, 2? Yeah, about 3 or 4 volts. This thing is like, I don't know, probably more than that. Probably a 5-volt battery. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this. I don't claim to be either. But yeah, my best guess is bring a load of batteries with you, because this thing will run out eventually. But as I said on Monday or whatever, this thing is excellent if you're in a service station and you want to power this up quickly. Compared to this thing, it would take forever. Just put your batteries in, off it goes, and you're happy. I'm trying to get some power out of this thing, and it's okay, but I don't know. If you had some Duracells, it would probably last about a week or 2. But because I'm using this with cheap alkalines, you know, it can vary. But yeah, again, I have tested it in radios before, and it's lasted up to 12 days. So, and most batteries like Tesco's and that have been okay up to the 12-day mark as well. And some have been even more worse than the others. You know, the Kodak ones, these ones, had really good capacity, in my opinion. But I use JCB batteries now because I don't know why, but Kodak only does a pack of 5. So if I did put like 4 batteries in that, because I got a new radio recently. I got a new radio, and the problem with it is very simple, and that is it uses 4 batteries now, not 3, compared to the other one. So even if I did have the 3 batteries in that adapter thing, it would probably only be, I would be 2 batteries short all the time, and eventually it will get annoying. But when you have the 5-pack of Kodak that they're saying you're getting 1 free, you know, you always got 1 battery, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. So the 20-pack of JCBs that are £2 in Home Bargains are a lot better in that thing than anything. So yeah, you'd get like 4 times the power. Now true, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you get like 5 uses out of the pack of 20 compared to the 5. Unless you bought like 4 packs of them, but yeah, again, for that price you could have got the JCBs that have a lot more current in them. I could even try them in this, but I'm not going to floor the test to a long period. I don't see the point. So what I'm going to do is I'll let you know when the battery actually is dead. At the moment in time, it's okay. It's not that good in voltage, which is making this very picky to get power. But it works sometimes, so at least it vapes sometimes. But it's not a very powerful vape. Yeah, it's hardly fizzing at all. So this thing is starting to lose its power. I tell you what, though, if you're using a lot of services, it wouldn't be a problem. You just get the batteries. So, and compared to this dinky thing, when you charge one of these, they take forever to charge, but they're good vape output. So there's some flaws and some goods in it. So we'll see how it goes. So it's Wednesday night. I was starting to use this vape mod thing, and the battery that was originally in it was these, and now they're dead. So these went on for 2 or 3 days, and now they're dead. They ran from 1.5 to 1.15-ish. So this thing only can go up to 1.2 maximum before it starts to lose its power. Now it's starting to work. So I've put the newer Kodak batteries in, the extra long life ones, to see if they last long. But now it's like miscalculating. Well, not really, because it's Wednesday night now, and if these are dead on Wednesday night, they've lasted 5 to 7 days. So that's good. Looking as good as it did on the first day these were in. So either these were really crap when they were first made in the extra life range, or, you know, this thing is an absolute power hog. We'll find out. With the zinc chlorides, with the extra long life Kodaks, it seems to have no problem with these, so we'll see how long these last. The only thing I can criticise about this thing at the moment is the button is a really awkward press. That's the only thing I can criticise about it, but apart from that, it's awesome. So more updates as they come along. Yes, I know, I'm on the toilet. Isn't that really classy for a YouTube video on vaping? Still got this thing, still going. It's technically Monday now. Well, becoming into Monday. It's about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or whatever. Still works. 1.2 something volts. Still works fine. So, what have I learnt? Well, I've learnt that this thing is not very good at vaping, but is okay for a little bit of a hit for vaping at small voltage. another thing I've learned is it doesn't matter what batteries you put into this, it will vary. For example, these Kodak ones, these brand new Kodak ones, the other ones weren't as brand new, which probably explains why they didn't last long. These ones have lasted a little longer than the other ones, and they're still going. I've been using this now and again whenever I need to use it, and it works fine, works just fine. And it still vapes awesome. Same vape juice in it, although the one I'm going to be having at my mum's is the candy floss and mince pie. Although I'm not a very big fan of mince pie, it'll be better than nothing. Better than Christmas pudding. The button's getting a little bit better to use. It was a bit slippery to begin with. Again, apologies about the music in the background. If it's copyrighted, it will be copyrighted on YouTube. I don't care. Like, anyone's gonna find a way of copying this onto a CD, Jesus. Copyright weird. But these batteries from Kodak are a lot more stronger than the old ones, it looks like. A bit more of a punch with these. I might test them in the radio someday. The old radio, not the new radio. Because the new radio would only last 2 days. That thing's a hog. Don't ask me how, but it uses up so much power. Well, it seems to vape. It's probably good enough to vape at work because you won't even leave a vape trail behind. Because this thing is not as powerful as the other one. Anyway, I can't do smoke rings. Anyway, more results as they go along. I'm guessing the battery will be dead today at some point because it can't last at 1.2 volts. It really can't. I think it was 1.23 last time I looked. Don't mind, I'm going to bed now. Cheerio. Wow, what a weird angle I'm at. Anyway, I'll let you know that the batteries are now completely dead in this thing. It's now Monday, 5 o'clock in the morning. You may be wondering, why am I not asleep? Because that's the thing. I can't sleep. Not even with lights off and all that. Because it's, you know, by the time I've, fallen asleep, it's, well, chirping birds outside, so whatever. But eventually I will sleep. Anyway, these Kodak batteries are dead now. Or deadish. I mean, to a tolerable voltage, I think that it can't do much more now. It's very difficult to puff on this thing. You've got to hold on longer and all that. And yeah, I drained all the e-juice as well. So now it's time to put this in the bin. Because it tastes like burning when you put it on. Plus I think there's mould in it. Anyway, this thing did well actually. These batteries did way better than the other Kodak brand. Although I think that was because the LED actually did drain a bit out of this. And yes, I know I've got that in the background and that could be copyrighted, but who cares? Anyway, we'll be looking at what voltage these are either in the morning or afternoon, depending on when I wake up. So what do I think to this unit? I think it's good. Great for when you're going out, and you have no way of powering your other stuff. You've got this. Anywho, let me show you what's in the Ego case. Okay. We have one tank in there. We have, I believe, 3 in here. Or maybe 2. I don't know. But I believe there's 3, so there's probably 2 in there and 1 there. Who knows? Also in here now is the other gear, which is this. So now I have the actual unit, the tank, the batteries, the extra, the extra battery, just in case this needs to be replaced or whatever, because knowing us, our units do go wrong when we're out and about. So whenever you're out of battery on this thing, but you've got battery on this thing, this little pen unit, you need to use it. So I've put my 3 batteries in there. These are actually 1.6 volts, I'm guessing. And I have another pack of 3 in my bag as well. So yeah, that's the Ego case for you. It's a nice little case. It was meant for the smaller unit, but do you know what? It fits this as well, so if you're willing to fill it in, And this right here is one of the tanks. There's another 2 or 3 in here, 3 batteries, and the actual battery pen, which is a simplified little unit. And before, you saw me with that CISO or something, whatever, through my vaping experience. Okay, so vaping experience so far, I've noticed a few things, and that is that there's easy ways out when it comes against vaping. There is the battery method I just showed you, where you can put AA batteries in. There's a normal pen thing there, and all that. And what we've learnt today, absolutely nothing. But what I can tell you is, if you're out and about, you have no power in your other e-sort things, you can use that, and it works perfectly fine. I would recommend the Ego case. I would recommend the little battery in there, and I would recommend the bigger unit with 3 AA batteries. Because when you're out and about, it's easy to find them. All you have to do is go to your local gas station or whatever that's nearby, your pub, and just put them in, and off we go. It's that simple. With the other one, when the battery's gone, it's gone. So, that little pen in there that I just showed you has to be charged specifically with a specialized charger, all that crap. But with the other unit we've just put in there, that, you can get any AA battery you wished. It could be Duracell or Derpycell, I like to call them, because they're not as great as they used to be, or ever. Kodak, or whatever you wished. So, that's really good. That's great experience from a little device like that. So, now I've shown you the insides of this thing. It just shows, I'm ready to go. I have my 3 batteries, which are there. And I also have to have a shave, and I also have another 3 in the in my actual bag, if you will, so I can go beyond and vape wherever I want. I also have that little battery in there. I don't know if you can see it, but this thing is rubbish. I mean, if you're out and about, that thing can run out, and the problem is no other person or anyone else we know of has a charger for it, and I believe the charger's in there as well. But if you're taking this with you and you do have the charger but no plug, and this was here and that's all you had, you'd be fucked, because no one else has a plug unless you want to go to Poundland and risk it. So this will be dead before you know it, and yeah, not so good. Another problem I see with this one is the button is right there and it can be easily be pressed. So, this is a good little case, and if you are going out, I recommend it. But I wouldn't recommend using the pen style batteries as often when you're out and about, especially when you're out and about, because that will eventually run out of juice and power. Well, just power, because you have your juice in here somewhere. Not like me, where I've just put batteries and more batteries and tanks and stuff. I've actually put my juices in a different bag that's sealed, ready to go, and it's all new, so it's not like it's been opened, so it won't rot. And this right here is an awesome unit. I would recommend it when you're out and about. You can't charge this bloody thing that often, so what do? you go back on the actual cigarettes, don't you? At least with this, all you have to do is go to the shop, if there is one open, and find some AA batteries. Or you can take your own. So it's endless. It is really endless. So yeah, nice little ego case. I'm ready to go out on the bout. And my main unit at home, the fatter one of them, that's for the road, is really good. It still goes good, and I still love it to bits. Anyway, thanks for watching.